Hi everybody, I have a recipe to share with you today. We are making polo, which is a Persian dish my family really loves. So the first thing I do is I get a big pot of water on the stove boiling away so that I can add my rice to that. Now I'm soaking my rice, and this is optional, but once you're done soaking the rice, anywhere from 1 to 3 hours, you can go ahead and drain that. And I give it a quick rinse, and then we can put it into the water. So the water's boiling away, and I'm just going to put in about 3 cups of rice, and this is going to boil for about 20 minutes, and then we're going to drain it. In the meantime, I am going to warm up my dates. Now these are very dry, so if you have plump, moist dates, you do not need to do this. You can just cut them up. So after about 5 or so minutes, I am just going to take them out. Now this is just going to soften them enough so that it's easy for me to cut them up. So the next thing I want to do is just slice them into halves or thirds. Now even though I had them soaking for a while, they're still a little bit difficult to get through. So just want to get the seed out and then cut through them. So I want to show you some of these dates. Well, you'll notice that some of them are just need to be thrown out. Little bugs can make their way in there, and you just don't want to be eating that. Okay, next we want to slice up an onion or 2, depending on how many cups of rice you are making. And I am going to put my kitchen scraps into a bowl so that I can compost them later. And then I am just going to brown those onions with a little bit of grapeseed oil. Okay, so after about 10 or 15 minutes, they are so beautifully browned, and I can set them aside and I can continue working on the rest of the recipe. So with those dates that are all cut up now, I can add them to that same pan that I had the onions going, and I just want to get them warmed up with the currants that I'm going to add to this dish. So for all the recipe and details, please check the description below because I'll have all of those details. And I'm adding a little bit of saffron to this, but this is optional, of course. So I'm just going to remove it from the heat because I don't want it to burn, and in the meantime I am going to work on the lentils. And so I'm going to use about a cup or so of lentils for every 3 cups of rice. Just have them on a tray here so that I can go through them and make sure that there aren't any stones in the lentils. And I found one. I just want to show you what it looks like. This one was quite big actually. And this is a great activity to get the kids to help because they love to look for these things too. So then I can put that on the stove and boil it for about 20 or so minutes until it's nice and soft, and I can drain that out, and now I have everything ready to assemble the rice. So the first thing I want to do is add a layer of rice, and this is cooked almost all the way through. It's pretty much done, but it's definitely not overly soft. And now comes the just assembly process. We're going to be adding the lentils and the dates and the currants and the fried onions. And then we'll do the whole thing over again. And we'll add another layer of rice. And I am going to add some salt and some saffron, and also olive oil and grapeseed oil. So you do not need to add both oils. I happen to like the flavor of the olive oil, and of course if you don't have the saffron, you can use a little bit of turmeric instead if you want the color. As you can see, it's already turning that nice golden orange color. And this is just a close-up look of how that rice starts to change color with that saffron, which also adds a wonderful flavor. So here are all the dishes complete, and if you want to check out the videos for these other dishes that I have here that go along with the polo, I'll have links in the description below. And if you want to see more pictures, you can always check out my website. And if you would like to cook along with me, please go to pepperandpine.com and sign up for the mailing list, and I will send you my entire cookbook. And a special thank you to Tayyiba for this recipe. All right, thanks for watching.